Hello everyone, this is Sirisha Sadhu, your maths teacher once again. In the previous video, we have checked our closure property regarding whole numbers with all the four operators, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. In the same way, we have checked the same property for integers also. In this video, we are going to verify the closure property for rational numbers. Let us get started with our topic today, that is verifying the closure property for rational numbers. Let us first start checking our property for addition. Are rational numbers closed under addition or not? So let us consider two rational numbers like 3 by 8 plus minus 5 by 7. What do we mean by closure property? As we said in the previous video, closure property is whenever I am taking two rational numbers, if I add these two, the answer must also be a rational number. Then we can say that rational numbers are closed under addition. Let us check whether our answer will be a rational number or not. Okay. Here, how to add two rational numbers. Okay. Observe carefully. We are adding two rational numbers. We need to consider the denominators. What is the denominator here? 8. What is the denominator here? It's 7. We need to take an LCM whenever we want to add two rational numbers. Firstly, we need to take the LCM of the denominators. If I try to take the LCM, as there are no common factors for 8 and 7, what can we do? We can just multiply both of them so that we will get 8 sevens 56. So that will be the LCM. Okay. So when I divide 56 with 8, then it gives me 7. Okay. So 7 into 3 gives me 21 plus when I divide 56 with 7, I will get 8 as the quotient. Then 8 fives 40. It's not just 40. You need to remember about your sign. So it will be minus 40. So plus 21 and minus 40. My answer will be minus 19 by 56. Understood? See, you are adding up one positive integer and one negative integer. Be careful here. This is positive, this is negative. So you need to subtract. When we subtract 40 and 21, you will get 19. But the sign, why did you give minus here? Because always you need to take the sign of highest number. Which is higher here? Only the number. Don't consider about the sign. Out of 21 and 40, 40 is the higher number. So we are taking the sign of the higher number. But be careful, children. Actually, minus numbers are all smaller than the positive numbers, isn't it? But while giving the sign, you should not check it. You should consider only the numbers. Okay, 21 and 40. Don't say minus 40. Which is big? 40 is big. So the bigger number is having a minus sign. So we give that sign to the answer. So we'll get here minus 19 by 56. Is minus 19 by 56 a rational number? Of course, yes. Because minus 19 is an integer, 56 is an integer and the denominator is not equal to 0. It's in the p by q form. So minus 19 by 56 is an integer. So when we add minus 9 by 56 is a rational number. Okay. So when we are adding two rational numbers, we got the answer as a rational number. So what can we say? Rational numbers are closed under addition. So we have proved that rational numbers are closed under addition. Okay, but you take various number of rational numbers at home and check this property and come back for the next video. Why? Because you can't verify any property using a single example. Okay, here for the time's sake, I have taken an example and explained you and showed that rational numbers are closed under addition. Okay, but always you try with several examples at home and check whether your answer is again a rational number or not, and whether this property is closed under addition or not. Okay, now let us go for the next operator, that is subtraction. I want to check whether subtraction is closed for rational numbers or not. Are rational numbers closed under subtraction or not? For the sake of this, I want to take two different rational numbers, that is minus 5 by 7, and I want to subtract 2 by 3 from this. Okay, so these two are the rational numbers I want to take to verify my closure property under the operator subtraction. Okay, under this operator. Now let me check. If this answer is a rational number, I can say that rational numbers are closed under subtraction. So now here you observe carefully, we are learning to subtract two rational numbers. How to subtract? Again you need to check with your denominators. What are the two denominators here? 7 and 3. How to subtract? Just like in addition, we need to take the LCM of the denominators. When I want to take the LCM, I don't find any common factors between 7 and 3. So I am multiplying 7 and 3, which gives me 21. Am I right? Okay. So when I divide 21 with 7, I get 3 as my quotient. So 3 into 5, 3 into minus 5, that is minus 15. Minus, when I divide 21 with 3, I get 7 as my quotient. So 7 into 2, it will be 14. Okay. So minus 15 and minus 14, isn't it? Okay. So as they are both possessing the same sign, we need to add up. My answer will be minus 29 by 21. Did you understand how to subtract two rational numbers? Okay. Be careful with the sign always. If here it is minus, obviously you will get a minus. As we are subtracting it, here also we got a minus. So as both are possessing the minus sign, the answer will also possess a negative sign. Understand? So is minus 29 by 21 a rational number? Of course it's a rational number, because minus 29 is an integer, 21 is an integer, and the denominator is not equal to 0. It's in the P by Q form. So this is also a rational number. So what can we say from this? Rational numbers are closed under subtraction. Am I correct? Rational numbers are closed under subtraction. But what should you do? At home, you must take various rational numbers, whichever you want. Various rational numbers you take and verify by subtracting them. Okay, you subtract two different rational numbers and you check your answers. If it is another rational number, definitely you can understand that rational numbers are closed under subtraction. Check for various rational numbers at home. Now let us check this for another operator. That is, this time I want to check it for multiplication. Now my operator is multiplication. Let me take two rational numbers like minus 2 by 3 into 4 by 5. Are they two rational numbers? Yes, of course. So, when I multiply, my product should also be a rational number. Product means the result what we get whenever we are multiplying two numbers, any numbers, the result is always called as a product. So if my product is a rational number, I can say rational numbers are closed under multiplication. So let me check out this. How to multiply? See, multiplication of rational numbers is so simple. You can directly multiply both the numerators. What are the numerators here? Minus 2 and 4. So minus 2 into 4 gives me minus 8 by, directly you can multiply both the denominators. 3 into 5 gives me 15. So is minus 8 by 15 a rational number? Of course, it's in P by Q form where minus 8 and 15 both are integers and the denominator is not equal to 0. So my minus 8 by 15 is a rational number. Therefore, I can say that rational numbers are closed under multiplication. Rational numbers are closed under multiplication. We have verified this also. Please do verify with various rational numbers at home. Okay, and now my last operator I wanted to check this is with division. Okay, let us finish this closure property by with the operator division. Okay, so I want to take two rational numbers as 2 by 7 divided by 5 by 3. How to divide two rational numbers? Observe carefully. The first number you can write as it is. In division, what happens is, while dividing, while dividing, how we divide two rational numbers is, the first rational number we keep it as it is and then we change this operator into multiplication and we take the reciprocal of the second one. Just like in fractions. Whenever you are dividing two fractions, you know this method. The same is implemented even here for rational numbers. So the first rational number will remain the same. This operator will be changed into multiplication, and for the second rational number we are going to take its reciprocal. 5 by 3 is the given rational number. Then what is the reciprocal of it? It will be 3 by 5. Okay. Now you can multiply them directly. If you can cancel off anything, you can do. But here I don't see any cancellations possible here. No. So we will directly multiply. 2 into 3, 6 by 7 into 5, 35. Is the 6 by 35 a rational number? Yes. But with this example, can I conclude that rational numbers are closed under division? No. Let me check with one more example. That is, I want to take 3 by 5 divided by 0. 0 is a rational number. Of course, I can take 0 and check it. Whenever I am speaking that 0 is a rational number, I mean to say that it's 0 by 1. Okay, because I need to express it in the form of P by Q. So for any number, I can use the denominator as 1. So now let me check this. To divide it, the first rational number, I need to copy in the same way. The operator will change into multiplication. Then I need to take the reciprocal of 0 by 1. Can I do it? Can I write 1 by 0? Never. I cannot write this because any number divided by 0 is always undefined. Can we do any operations on an undefined number? You can't do. So division, so this you can't do and get an rational number. So therefore you must agree that rational numbers are not closed under division. Understood? As 0 is also a rational number, when we are taking two rational numbers and trying to do the division, can you get a rational number as your answer? No. So you need to conclude that rational numbers are not closed under division. With this, we have completed verifying our closure property for rational numbers. We have checked it for addition, we have checked it for subtraction, we have checked it for multiplication, and we have checked it for division also, and we have got all our conclusions. But please do verify with various rational numbers at home. Okay? Now, let us go to the next property. Today, we are going to check another property. What is that property? Commutative property. Commutative property. First, let me make you understand what is commutative property exactly. Commutative property can be very simply explained as whenever you take two numbers like A and B, commutative tells you that A plus B, if it is equal to B plus A, we say that addition is commutative. Both the results should be equal. That means irrespective of the order of addition. That is, see, firstly you are adding A and then you are taking B here, whereas here you have changed the order of the numbers. Firstly you are taking B, then you are adding A. Still the result must be equal on both the sides, that is LHS and RHS. If these two are equal, you say that addition is commutative. Okay, so as we have checked for our closure property, we will check this also. But let us start checking this property with whole numbers first. Let us check this property for whole numbers so that you will understand a little more. Let me take two whole numbers like 2 and 3. And let me check, is the addition commutative for this or not? 2 plus 3. What do I get? 5. Very good. Now I want to change the order. Firstly I will take 3. Then I will add 2 to it. What is my result? Of course, it is also 5. See, even though I have changed the order of addition, that is 2 plus 3. Secondly, I have done 3 plus 2. Still, I have got the same result, 5 and 5. So, I can say addition is commutative, isn't it? I can say addition is commutative for whole numbers. Don't forget that. I have checked only for whole numbers. Shall we do one more example? Like I want to take 0 is also a whole number. 0 plus 7. What do you get? You will get 7. And let me change the order now. I want to take first 7 and then add 0 to it. Then also I will be getting 7. Isn't it? So addition is commutative. Both the results are matching. Isn't it? So even though I change the order of the numbers, A plus B is equal to B plus A in this particular thing. So I can say addition is commutative for whole numbers. Now let us check the same thing for integers. We will always go in an order. so that you will be thorough with the property. Okay, now I want to check the same property for integers. Let me take two integers, like I want to take -2 and 3. Am I okay? Okay. So -2 and 3. Two integers I have taken. So firstly I will do A plus B. These two are my A and B here. So firstly I have done A plus B. See, as they differ in sign, I will get my answer as 1. Because out of 2 and 3, 3 is bigger. I need to give the sign plus to my answer. So I got just 1, that is plus 1. Whenever I just write 1, that means it is plus 1. So now let me change the order of the numbers. I will do, first I want to take 3 and then I want to do it plus -2. Is it? Okay. Now also I will get 1. Am I correct? Both the answers are matching in this case. Let me take another case and solve it for you. This time I want to take two positive integers, 4, 5. In this case, my A and B are 4 and 5. So let me first do A plus B, which gives me 9. And again, when I reorder the numbers, that is 5 plus 4, then also I'll be getting 9. Therefore, we can say addition is commutative even for integers. So addition is commutative for whole numbers and addition is commutative for integers also. Now let us check whether it is commutative for rational numbers. To check this, let me take two rational numbers here. One will be -2 by 3 and my other rational number will be 5 by 7. Okay, so to check whether addition is commutative or not for the rational numbers, I need to do, here my A and B are A and B. Okay, I need to add both of them. So let me add them. -2 by 3 plus 5 by 7. As you have seen before, to add two rational numbers, we need to take the denominators and get an LCM of them. As there are no common factors for 3 and 7, we will multiply. We get 21. 3 sevens, 21. So when I divide 21 with 3, my quotient is 7. That 7 should be multiplied with this numerator. 7 into -2 gives me -14 plus, when I divide 27 with 7, my quotient will be 3. 3 into 5 gives me plus 15. So my answer will be 1 by 21. Good? Okay. This is the first case. In the second case, I need to reorder my numbers. That is 5 by 7 first and then -2 by 3 will be added to it. That is, here I have done A plus B. Here I am checking my B plus A. So here also again the denominators are the same, 7 and 3. So you get the same LCM here, and then if I divide if I divide 21 with 7, my quotient will be 3. So as my quotient is 3, 3 into 5, it will be plus 15. Okay, and plus, if I divide 21 with 3, my quotient will be 7. That 7 into -2 gives me -14. 14. So plus 15 minus 14 gives me 1 by 21. Check here. Both my A plus B and B plus A are earning me the same result, that is 1 by 21 and 1 by 21. Therefore, what can I say? Addition is commutative even for rational numbers. Even for rational numbers, addition is commutative. So with this we can conclude that addition is commutative for whole numbers, addition is commutative for integers, and addition is even commutative for our rational numbers also. Okay, let us check now whether subtraction is commutative or not. Let us check whether subtraction is commutative or not. Anyway, we will start with our whole numbers. Let us check for whole numbers. Okay, while explaining commutativity of whole numbers, how to explain in a general form? My A minus B must be equal to my B minus A. The same thing when we are checking for addition, A plus B must be equal to B plus A. That is called commutative property. When I am checking it for subtraction, A minus B must be equal to B minus A. That means reordering of the numbers should not change my result. Let us check whether subtraction is commutative or not. Okay. For whole numbers, let me take just 2, 3. So when I do 2 minus 3, what will I get? 2 minus 3. I get a minus 1 here. Whereas when I do, these are my A and B. Now this is A minus B. Now I want to do my B minus A. So this is my B. So 3 minus A is 2. When I do 3 minus 2, I get just a 1. Whereas when I have done 2 minus 3, I got a minus 1. But when I reorder, I got plus 1. Is plus 1 equal to minus 1? Can it be equal? No. 1 is never equal to minus 1. Both are different integers, isn't it? It's a positive integer and it's a negative integer. Therefore, we can say that subtraction is not commutative for whole numbers. Subtraction is not commutative for whole numbers. Subtraction is not commutative for whole numbers. Let us check the same thing with our integers. Let me take 2 integers now. 5 and minus 4. Understood? So these are my A, this is my A and this is my B. Let me first check my A minus B. That is 5 minus minus 4. This is my A minus B. What will it yield for me? Minus of minus will become plus. You are thorough with it in your 7th grade also. Minus of minus becomes plus and 5 plus 4, it will give you 9. Okay, but when I reorder my thing, you just see here, this is my B. Therefore, first I am taking my B minus 4 minus my A is 5. So what happens here? B minus A. What will it give? Minus 4 and minus 5. Both are possessing the same sign. So I need to add up. So I get a minus 9. Is 9 equal to minus 9? Definitely not. So my LHS not equal to RHS. What is it? For commutative property, A minus B must be equal to B minus A. It didn't happen here. So we will say that subtraction is not commutative for integers also. Already we have learned subtraction is not commutative for whole numbers. Now we understood that subtraction is not commutative for integers also. And let us finish our last thing, that is we will check for our rational numbers. Let me take here two rational numbers, that is 2 by 3, comma 5 by 4. This is my A and this is my B. Now, if subtraction is commutative for my rational numbers, when I do A minus B, the result must be equal to my B minus A. Let me do first A minus B. A minus B. Okay. So how to do it? You know how to subtract two rational numbers, right? So 3 and 4 won't have any common factors. So I am multiplying them. 12. I get the LCM as 12. So when I divide 12 with 3, my quotient is 4. So 4 twos are 8 minus. Here when I divide 12 with 4, my quotient is 3. 3 fives is 15. So when I do 8 minus 15, what will I get? 7, right? So I am getting here minus 7 by 12, isn't it? Now let us check with our second condition. What is it? B minus A, that is 5 by 4 minus 2 by 3. This is our second condition. Again our LCM will be 12, and here when I divide 12 with 4, my quotient is 3. 3 fives, 15 minus. When I divide 12 with 3, my quotient is 4. 4 into the numerator. 4 twos, 8. I will get 7 by 12. Is minus 7 by 12 equal to 7 by 12? No, not. So, we say that subtraction is not commutative even for rational numbers. Only addition is commutative for whole numbers, integers and rational numbers also, whereas subtraction is not commutative for whole numbers, integers and rational numbers also. Good. Now let us check the same commutative property with the operator multiplication. Will it hold good for multiplication? Let us just check it. For this, I will take how to explain the commutative property regarding multiplication. Just as addition and subtraction, when A into B is equal to B into A, we say that multiplication is commutative. Let us check it fast, because we have already completed addition and subtraction. In the same way, we can check this for multiplication. So let us first check with two whole numbers. 2 and 3, simply 2 3 is 6. 3 into 2 also gives you 6. So A into B is always equal to B into A. Therefore, multiplication is commutative for whole numbers. Let us check it for integers. Okay. Minus 6, comma, minus 8. I want to check this. Minus 6 into minus 8 gives you 6 8s 48. Minus into minus, it will become plus here. If I change the order also, minus 8 into minus 6. 8 6 are 48. Minus into minus, plus. Here also, my A into B is equal to my B into A. Therefore, multiplication is commutative for whole numbers. Multiplication is commutative for integers also. Now let us check for our rational numbers. Two by 3, comma 5 by 4. These are my A and B's here. Okay, this is my A and this is my B. Let me check if A into B. What did I tell you? It's so simple. If any cancellations are possible, you can always do. That is 2 ones, 2 twos of 4. Any more cancellations possible? No. So 1 into 5 gives you 5. 3 into 6 gives you 6 here. So my result is 5 by 6. Now let us check my B into A. That is 5 by 4 into 2 by 3. Just I reordered. Then any cancellations? 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, and it gives you 5 into 1, 5, 2 into 3, 6. So it's the same over here and here. So I can say multiplication is commutative even for rational numbers. Understand? So multiplication is commutative for whole numbers. Multiplication is commutative for integers. Multiplication is commutative for rational numbers also. Now our last operator here, let us check our last operator, that is division. We have completed our multiplication and now let us check our division. Is our division commutative or not? Okay. Under division, what is meant by commutativity? A divided by B must be equal to B divided by A. That means if we reorder also, our result must be the same. Let us just check with the whole numbers first. Two and 0 I want to take. Okay. Firstly, my A and my B. 0 is a whole number, remember. So I have taken 2 and 0. Now see here, A divided by B. That means 2 divided by 0. Can I divide any number with 0? No, it's undefined. So here itself, it will be undefined for me. And my B, that is 0 divided by 2. Any number divided by 2 gives you 0. 0 divided by any number always gives you a 0. But any number divided by 0 will give you a, it's not defined. This is undefined. Okay. Therefore, you say that division is not commutative. Division is not commutative for whole numbers. Let us check for our integers also. Immediately, we will take two integers like -3 and 5. Okay. Firstly, I will do my A divided by B divided by 5. That means we write it as like this. We can write it 3 by 5. Whereas my B divided by A is 5 divided by -3. So it will be 5 by -3. Are they same? No, they are the reciprocals of each other, isn't it? They are the reciprocals have come. So they are not equal. LHS is not equal to RHS. So I say division is not commutative for integers. Let us check with our rational numbers. With this, we will finish our commutative property totally. Rational numbers. Let me take two rational numbers, -5 by 4 and 3 by 7. Okay. Now my A divided by B will be -5 by 4 divided by 3 by 7. 3 by 7. How to divide? I have showed you even before also. The first rational number will be copied the same. This division will become multiplication, and the second rational number, the reciprocal of it will be written here. That is 7 by 3. If there are any cancellations possible, you can check here. Not possible. So it will become 7 into 5, 30 minus 35 by 4 3s 12. So we got this answer. Keep it. And now my b divided by a, that is 3 by 7 divided by my a is minus 5 by 4. 3 by 7 will be as it is. This symbol becomes multiplication, and now the reciprocal I need to take, that is minus 4 by 5. See, even though I bring this minus 5, I can always send my negative sign to the numerator. Understand? Whenever you are taking a reciprocal, it's not a compulsory that minus 5 should be written down only. The minus symbol will go for the entire number. So it can be taken up. So there are no cancellations possible. What is my answer? 3 4s minus 12 by 7 5s 35. What did we get? Are they same? So LHS not equal to the RHS. Therefore, division is not commutative for rational numbers. Understood? Division is not commutative for rational numbers. With this, we have completed our commutative property also. Now, what have we done? Closure property we have checked for whole numbers, integers and our rational numbers for all the 4 operators, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. And next we have come over to the commutative property. That also we have checked for whole numbers, integers and our rational numbers for all the 4 operators, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. In this, we came to a conclusion that addition and multiplication are commutative, whereas subtraction and division are not commutative. Understood? With this, we finished this property also. In the next video, I will teach you associative property and distributive property. With that, we will complete our properties. Okay?